10. Powerful Stoic techniques to increase your intelligence. What makes a life worth living? Picture yourself standing at a crossroads, the kind you find in those quiet moments when the world slows down and you re-left with your thoughts. One path stretches out before you, chaotic and unpredictable, where every twist and turn feels like a storm pulling you in a dozen directions. You're reacting, scrambling, tossed around by life's demands, work piling up, notifications buzzing, expectations pressing in. It's exhausting, isn't it? Now, look at the other path. It's not perfect, no path is, but it's calm, steady, grounded. Here, you're not controlling the wind or the waves, but you're steering your own ship, choosing how to respond, finding peace in the midst of it all. Which path would you choose? That's the question I've been wrestling with lately, and it's led me to something ancient, yet so alive it feels like it was written for today. Stoicism. This isn't just some dusty philosophy tucked away in a history book, gathering cobwebs. Stoicism is a way of living, a toolkit for navigating the messiness of life, those big, earth-shaking moments and the small, everyday ones that wear you down. It's about finding meaning, not in chasing what's out there, but in shaping what's within. I've been diving deep into this lately, and let me tell you, it's like discovering a map for a journey I didn't even know I was on. Stick with me, because today I'm sharing a handful of Stoic strategies that could change the way you see the world and yourself. Ready to find out how to live a life that feels full, purposeful, no matter what comes your way? Let's dive in. Think about the last time life threw you a curveball. Maybe it was a sudden change, a job loss, a move, a relationship hitting rocky ground. Or maybe it was quieter, like that nagging feeling that you're just going through the motions, not really living. We've all been there, standing at our own crossroads wondering how to keep going when the path feels uncertain. That's where Stoicism comes in. It's not about avoiding the chaos or pretending everything's fine. It's about building an inner strength, a kind of quiet power that lets you face anything, joy, pain, uncertainty, with clarity and courage. The Stoics, people like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, weren't just thinkers. They were doers, living in a world as messy and demanding as ours. Marcus, an emperor, dealt with wars, plagues, and betrayal, yet he found time to scribble thoughts in his journal, reminding himself to stay grounded. Seneca faced exile and political intrigue, yet he wrote letters about living well, even in the face of death. These weren't guys with easy lives, they were in the thick of it, just like us. And what they figured out was this: you can't control the world. The weather, other people's choices, the curveballs life throws, those are out of your hands. But your mind, your reactions, your values, those are yours to shape. That's where your freedom lies. So, what does this mean for you and me? It means we can stop feeling like life's punching bag. We can learn to pause, to choose our response, to find peace not by changing the world, but by changing how we move through it. Stoicism offers practical tools, ways to embrace change, handle discomfort, stay curious, and find gratitude, even when things get tough. These aren't abstract ideas, they're steps you can take today, tomorrow, to build a life that feels meaningful, no matter the circumstances. I'm not saying it's easy. Life's messy, and Stoicism doesn't promise a shortcut to happiness. But it does offer a path, one that's been walked for centuries, by emperors and everyday people alike. It's a path of resilience, of purpose, of living intentionally. So, if you're ready to explore that path, to discover how to thrive in a world that's always shifting, you're in the right place. Let's walk this road together and uncover the Stoic wisdom that can light the way. Ready? Here, 641 words. Let's get started. The heart of Stoicism. So, what's Stoicism all about? Close your eyes for a second and picture this. You're strolling through ancient Rome, the air thick with the scent of fresh bread and olive oil. Merchants are haggling in the marketplace. their voices rising over the clatter of chariot wheels on cobblestone streets. Dust swirls, kids dart through the crowd, and the hum of life is everywhere. Amid all this chaos, a small group of thinkers is wrestling with a question that slices right through the noise. How do you live well? Not just scrape by, not just chase fleeting pleasures or dodge pain, but truly thrive, body, mind, and soul. That's where Stoicism was born, and let me tell you, it's not some abstract theory. It's a lifeline, forged by people who knew what it meant to face life's messiness head-on. These weren't philosophers hiding in ivory towers, sipping wine and debating for sport. They were in the thick of it, just like us. Take Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who ruled an empire stretched thin by wars and plagued by disease. Yet, in his tent at night, he'd scribble thoughts in a journal, not for fame, but to remind himself how to stay human, how to stay grounded. Those notes, they became meditations, a book that still feels like a conversation with a wise friend. Then there's Seneca, a playwright and advisor who navigated the snake pit of Roman politics, facing exile and betrayal, yet still wrote letters about finding peace in a turbulent world. And let's not forget Epictetus, a former slave who earned his freedom and taught that true liberty comes from mastering your own mind. These folks lived real, gritty lives, full of triumphs and heartaches, and their wisdom came from wrestling with the same questions we face. How do you keep going when life feels overwhelming? How do you find meaning in the chaos? At its heart, Stoicism delivers a simple but profound truth. You can't control the world. The weather's going to do what it wants, rain on your plans, literally or figuratively. Traffic will snarl, people will let you down, and opinions will fly at you from every corner. That's life, and no amount of wishing will change it. But here's the game changer. You can control your mind, your thoughts, your reactions, your choices. Those are yours, and they're where your power lies. Stoicism isn't about gritting your teeth and enduring. It's about finding a deep, unshakable peace by shifting how you move through the world. It's about resilience, yes, but also clarity, a kind of mental sharpness that lets you see what matters. It's about a quiet strength that doesn't crumble when pressure mounts. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? But here's where it gets even better. Stoicism isn't just about surviving life. punches. It's about seeing every moment, every challenge, every joy as an adventure, a chance to grow. The Stoics believed life is like a forge, shaping you with every heat and hammer strike. That annoying coworker, they're teaching you patience. That unexpected setback, it's building your courage. The key is to approach it all with a mindset that says, I can learn from this. I can get better. It's not about being perfect. It's about progress, about showing up each day a little wiser, a little braver. So, how do we bring this ancient wisdom into our modern lives? Start by noticing where you feel out of control. Maybe it's a stressful job, a tough relationship, or just the daily grind. Then ask, what can I control here? Maybe it's how you respond to a rude email, or choosing to take a deep breath instead of snapping. These small choices stack up, building a life that feels intentional, not reactive. Stoicism gives you tools, practical, doable steps to navigate the noise and find your footing. Want to know how to make that happen? Let's explore the strategies that can turn this philosophy into a way of living, one that lights up your path no matter how winding it gets. Ready? Let's keep going. Embracing life's changes. Take a moment to think back to a time when your life took a sharp turn. Maybe you packed up your life and moved to a new city, leaving behind familiar streets and faces. Or perhaps you switched jobs, trading the comfort of routine for the unknown of a new role. Maybe it was something smaller, like tweaking your morning routine, swapping late-night scrolling for early walks. Whatever it was, it felt uncomfortable, didn't it? Maybe a little scary, like the ground was slipping beneath your feet. Change has this way of shaking us up, rattling our sense of control. making us question what's next. It's human to resist it, to cling to the way things were. But here's where Stoicism flips the script. Change isn't the enemy. It's the rich, fertile soil where growth happens, where you become a stronger, wiser version of yourself. The Stoics, those ancient thinkers who faced their own share of upheaval, saw change as a fundamental part of life's design. They believed every shift, no matter how big or small, is a chance to sculpt a better you. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled through wars and crises, had this saying that stuck with me. Whatever happens to you, it's woven into the fabric of your life. It's not some random thread, fraying your plans. It's part of your story, your tapestry, that job loss that left you reeling. It might be the nudge that pushes you toward a passion you've been ignoring, a career that lights you up, that move to a new place with its lonely nights and unfamiliar roads. It could teach you courage, resilience, or open doors to friendships and opportunities you never imagined. The Stoics would say, stop fighting the weave of life. Instead, ask, what can this teach me? Now, I get it. Embracing change sounds inspiring when you're hearing it, but it's tough when you're in the thick of it. When a plan falls apart, when a relationship shifts, when the future feels like a fog, it's natural to want to dig in your heels. Seneca, another Stoic, faced exile and betrayal yet wrote that adversity is a chance to practice virtue. He'd say that change tests you, but it also shapes you. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, put it even more bluntly. You don't control what happens, but you control how you respond. That's your power. So here's a Stoic move to try. Practice seeing change as a teacher, not a threat. Next time something shifts. Your flight gets canceled. A friend drifts away. Your routine gets upended. Pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, how can I grow from this? Maybe it's patience, learning to wait without frustration. Maybe it's adaptability, finding new ways to move forward. The point isn't just to survive the change, it's to use it, to let it carve out a stronger, more grounded you. Let me share a quick story. A while back, I had to relocate for work. New city, new job, no friends nearby. It felt like I was starting from scratch. I was nervous, second-guessing everything. But I remembered this Stoic idea. Change is part of the pattern. So I leaned in. I explored my new neighborhood, struck up conversations, embraced the awkwardness of being the new guy. It wasn't easy, but it taught me confidence, showed me I could rebuild anywhere. That's the magic of Stoicism. Change stops being something to fear and becomes a partner in your journey, a guide to becoming who you're meant to be. Want to try it? Start small. Next time a minor change hits, say a meeting gets rescheduled, don't grumble. Pause and think, what's the lesson here? Then scale it up. When bigger shifts come, a career pivot, a personal loss, approach them with the same curiosity. Journal about it, talk it through with a friend, reflect on what you're learning. Over time, you'll find change doesn't rattle you as much. You'll see it as a chance to grow, to weave new colors into the fabric of your life. That's the Stoic way. Not just enduring change, but thriving through it, one lesson at a time. Ready to make change your ally? Let's keep going, leaning into discomfort. All right, let's get real for a second. Nobody likes feeling uncomfortable. That knot in your stomach before a big presentation, the sweaty-palmed awkwardness of a tough conversation, the creeping dread of tackling something totally new. It's human to want to dodge those moments, to sprint back to the cozy safety of what's familiar. But the Stoics? They'd look you in the eye and say, lean in. Discomfort, they believed, isn't just something to endure. It's where your character gets forged, where you carve out a wiser, tougher, braver version of yourself. Think of it like hitting the gym. Your muscles don't grow if you stick to light weights, avoiding the burn. You've got to push, lift heavier, feel the strain. It's the same with your mind and spirit. Without challenge, you stay stuck, coasting in your comfort zone. The Stoics were masters at flipping this script. Marcus Aurelius, that Roman emperor who faced wars and betrayal, had a saying that cuts right to the heart. The thing standing in your way, it is the way. That fear, that struggle, that moment when every fiber of your being wants to run, it's not a roadblock. It's the path to becoming stronger, more resilient, more you. Seneca, another Stoic heavyweight, took it further. He said adversity is like a sparring partner. It tests you, sharpens you, makes you better. Epictetus, a former slave who found freedom in his mind, put it plainly. You don't get to choose your challenges, but you choose how to face them. That's the Stoic mindset. Discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the crucible where growth happens, where you build the mental muscle to handle life's curveballs. Let me share a story from my own life to bring this home. A while back, I was asked to give a talk to a room full of strangers. Hundreds of eyes, all on me. Public speaking was not my thing. The night before, my palms were sweaty, my heart was pounding, and I was mentally drafting excuses to back out. I wanted to bolt. But then I remembered this Stoic idea. The obstacle is the way. So I leaned into the discomfort. I prepared like crazy, rehearsing in front of a mirror, timing my pauses, even recording myself to catch the stumbles. When the day came, I stepped onto that stage, legs shaky but determined. Was it perfect? Far from it. I tripped over a few words, forgot a point or two. But when I walked off, I felt this rush, like I'd conquered something bigger than the talk itself. I was stronger, more confident, because I didn't run from the fear. I used it. You can do this too, and you don't need a stage or a spotlight. Start small. Stoics love small steps. Try a cold shower tomorrow morning. Yes, it's a Stoic classic, and it's brutal for those first few seconds, but it's a quick way to practice facing discomfort head-on. Or speak up in a meeting when you'd usually stay quiet, even if your voice shakes. Maybe it's tackling that project you've been avoiding, the one that feels too big. These little acts of discomfort are like training reps for your resilience. Each one builds your capacity to handle the bigger stuff, job rejections, heartbreak, the unexpected twists life loves to throw. Here's a practical way to start. Pick one uncomfortable thing this week. Maybe it's saying no to something you'd usually agree to out of habit. Maybe it's reaching out to someone new, risking rejection. When the discomfort hits, pause. Breathe. Remind yourself, this is the way. Then take the step. Afterward, reflect. What did you learn? Did it make you braver, even a little? Over time, you'll notice something incredible. Those big challenges, losses, failures, life's gut punches, don't rattle you as much. You've built the muscle to face them with clarity and courage. That's the Stoic secret. Discomfort isn't something to avoid. It's your teacher, your forge, your path to a stronger you. So, what's one uncomfortable step you're ready to take? Let's keep exploring how to make that happen. Stepping back for clarity. Life's loud, isn't it? Your phone's buzzing with notifications, texts, emails, that one app you swore you'd mute. Deadlines are creeping closer, your to-do list is a mile long, and a million little things are clamoring for your attention. It's like you're caught in a whirlwind, swept up in the chaos, barely able to catch your breath. Before you know it, you've lost sight of what really matters. Your goals, your values, the person you want to be. Sound familiar? The Stoics had a fix for this madness: disengagement. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't about checking out, ghosting your responsibilities, or retreating to a cave. It's about hitting pause, stepping back, and giving yourself the space to think, to breathe, to realign with what's true. Marcus Aurelius, that Roman emperor we've talked about, was a master at this. Picture him in a war-torn camp, advisors clamoring, an empire weighing on his shoulders. Yet he'd carve out quiet moments to sit with his thoughts, scribbling in a journal that later became Meditations, a book that's still guiding people centuries later. He wasn't escaping life. He was rooting himself deeper in it, making sure he stayed true to his values despite the pressures. Seneca, another Stoic, wrote about retreating into your own mind to find peace, even in a noisy world. Epictetus, the former slave-turned-philosopher, taught that clarity comes when you focus on what's yours, your thoughts, your choices, and let the rest fall away. For the Stoics, disengagement was like stepping off a runaway train to find solid ground. You can do this too, and it's way simpler than you might think. Let's try something. Tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, sit quietly for 5 minutes. Just you, your breath, no screens or distractions. Think about your day. What energy do you want to bring to it? What matters most? Or, at night, take a moment to reflect. What went well today? What could you do differently? These small acts of stepping back are like resetting your compass. They cut through life's noise, helping you see clearly and act with intention instead of just reacting to whatever's loudest. Here's a story from my own life. A while back, I was drowning in work. Endless emails, back-to-back meetings, my brain fried from multitasking. I was snapping at people I cared about, losing track of why I was even doing it all. Then I tried a Stoic trick. I started taking intentional pauses. Between tasks, I'd close my laptop, take 10 deep breaths, and just sit there. At first, it felt weird, like I was wasting time. But those pauses became my lifeline. They gave me clarity, helped me prioritize, and reminded me to show up as my best self. One day, after a pause, I realized I'd been chasing a project that didn't even align with my values. I shifted gears, and it was like a weight lifted. Want to try it? Beyond morning or evening reflections, weave in what I call intentional pauses throughout your day. Between meetings, take a second to breathe deeply, feeling the air fill your lungs. Savor your coffee without scrolling, noticing its warmth, its bitterness. Go for a quick walk. No earbuds, just you and the world, the rustle of leaves, the hum of life. These tiny breaks aren't about doing less, they're about doing better. They recharge your mental battery, so when you jump back in, you're sharper, more focused, more you. Another Stoic practice is journaling, like Marcus did. Grab a notebook and jot down a few thoughts each day. What challenged you? What you're grateful for? What you're learning? It's like a conversation with yourself, a way to process the noise and find your center. Over time, these moments of disengagement build a habit of clarity. You'll notice you're less reactive, more grounded, even when life's chaos dials up. That's the Stoic gift, a quiet mind in a loud world. So, what's one pause you can take today? Let's keep exploring how to make that space your own. Never stop learning. Here's something I absolutely love about Stoicism. It sees life as one giant classroom, buzzing with lessons waiting to be uncovered. Every moment, every person you cross paths with, every setback that knocks you off balance, it's all a chance to learn something new. The Stoics were downright obsessed with this idea. They didn't think learning was just for kids scribbling in school or scholars buried in dusty tomes. No, learning was for everyone, always, no matter who you are or where you're at in life. And we're not talking just book smarts here, though that's great too. This is about learning how to live, how to navigate the messy, beautiful art of being human. Picture this. You're stuck in traffic, the kind that makes your blood boil. Horns are blaring, you're late for something important, and frustration's creeping in. Most of us would just fume, right? But here's the Stoic move. Pause and ask, Gerens, what's this teaching me? Maybe it's patience, that slow burn skill of staying calm when things don't go your way, or maybe it is letting go of what you can control, like the guy in the SUV who just cut you off, that rude coworker who snaps at you in a meeting. They might be your unlikely teacher, showing you how to keep your cool under pressure. Life's throwing lessons at you every single day. You just have to train yourself to notice them. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, lived this mindset. Marcus, an emperor juggling an empire's chaos, saw every challenge as a chance to grow wiser. He'd write in his journal, reflecting on what life was teaching him, turning setbacks into stepping stones. Seneca, despite facing exile and political intrigue, wrote that wisdom comes from staying open to life's teachings, no matter how tough. Epictetus, who went from slavery to philosophy, taught that every experience, good or bad, is a classroom for your character. For them, learning wasn't a phase, it was a way of being, a lifelong quest to become better, kinder, stronger. So, how do you weave this into your own life? It starts with curiosity, that spark of wonder that makes you ask, what's out there for me to discover? Stay curious like a kid exploring a new playground. Pick up a book on something totally outside your wheelhouse. Philosophy, if you're a numbers person. Cooking, if you burn toast. History, if you usually skip the past. Listen to a podcast that challenges your worldview, one that makes you rethink what you thought you knew. Strike up a conversation with someone different from you, a neighbor with a life story you've never heard, a coworker from another department, someone whose perspective feels like a window into a new world. Don't just consume knowledge, though. Reflect on it. At the end of each day, take a minute to ask, what did I learn today? It could be a random fact, like how bees communicate, or a deeper truth about yourself, like realizing you're stronger than you thought. Either way, you're growing. Let me share a quick story. A while back, I was stuck in a rut, feeling like I was just going through the motions. Then I stumbled across a podcast about Stoicism. Totally new territory for me. At first, I was skeptical. It sounded like heavy stuff. But I leaned in, listened, and started reading Seneca's letters. Each episode, each page, felt like a light bulb flicking on. I began journaling, asking what my days were teaching me. That curiosity pulled me out of my slump, gave me a sense of purpose. One day, I learned I'd been holding on to grudges that were weighing me down. Letting them go? That was a lesson life taught me, and it changed everything. This mindset is pure empowerment. It says you're never done evolving, no matter your age, your job, or your past. There's always more to discover, always room to grow. And here's the best part, you don't have to learn alone. Share what you pick up. Over coffee with a friend, in a group chat, at a family dinner. Swap stories, trade insights. Learning's richer when it's shared, like a fire that grows brighter with every new spark. So, what's one thing you're curious about today? Let's keep exploring how to make life your classroom. Finding gratitude in everything. Let's talk about gratitude, but not the cheesy, forced kind you might see plastered on inspirational posters. I'm talking about the deep, Stoic kind, the kind that sinks into your bones and changes how you see the world. The Stoics, those ancient thinkers who wrestled with life's highs and lows, knew something profound. Life's a mixed bag. You get joy and pain, wins and losses, moments that lift you up and others that knock you flat. But they believed no matter what hand you're dealt, there's always something to be thankful for, even in the hard stuff. Gratitude, for them, wasn't about slapping a smile on reality or pretending everything's fine. It was about choosing where to focus, about training your eyes to see the light, even in the shadows. Take a second to think about your day so far. That coffee you sipped this morning, its warmth curling through your hands, the roof over your head, keeping you safe and dry. The simple fact that you're here, breathing, living. It's so easy to breeze past these things, to take them for granted as just part of the routine. But what if you didn't? What if you woke up each morning and thought, wow, I get another day to do this life thing, to chase my dreams, to mess up and try again. That's the Stoic vibe, and it's powerful. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who faced wars and plagues, made it a habit to remind himself every morning that each day was a gift, a fresh chance to live with purpose, to align with what truly matters. Seneca, another Stoic, wrote that gratitude keeps you grounded. reminding you of life's abundance even when it feels scarce. Epictetus, who went from slavery to teaching philosophy, said to give thanks for what you have, because it's all on loan. Nothing's guaranteed. Their point? Gratitude isn't just about the easy, shiny moments. It's about finding value in the challenges too, the ones that test you and shape you. That argument with a friend that left you raw? It might teach you patience or how to listen better. That failure that stung so bad you wanted to quit? It could be the push you need to try again, smarter, stronger. Here's a practical way to make this real. Start a gratitude journal. It's simple, but game-changing. Every night, grab a notebook and jot down 3 things you're thankful for. They could be big, a promotion that's got you buzzing, a friend who's always got your back. Or they could be small, a warm meal that hit the spot, a kind smile from a stranger at the store. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to spot the good, even on days when life feels heavy. And don't stop at the obvious stuff. The Stoics would nudge you to go deeper, be grateful for the hard moments too. That stressful work project, it's building your grit. That heartbreak, it's teaching you what you value in relationships. Let me share a story. A while back, I hit a rough patch. Work was a grind, and I'd just gone through a breakup that left me questioning everything. I felt stuck, like nothing was going right. Then I started this gratitude journal thing, half skeptical, but willing to try. At first, it was basic. I'm thankful for my dog, for sunny weather. But then I pushed myself to look at the tough stuff. I wrote, I'm grateful for this breakup because it's showing me what I really want in a partner. It felt weird, but it shifted something. I started seeing lessons where I'd seen only pain, abundance where I'd felt lack. That practice pulled me through, made me resilient in a way I didn't expect. Gratitude's like a muscle. The more you flex it, the stronger it gets. It doesn't erase life's problems, but it equips you to face them with a clearer head, a steadier heart. You start noticing beauty in the ordinary, wisdom in the setbacks. That shift? It's life-changing. So, try it. What's one thing you're grateful for right now, big or small? Let's keep exploring how to make gratitude your superpower. Observing the world mindfully. Ever catch yourself rushing through your day like you're on autopilot? You're scarfing down lunch, but your brain's already wrestling with that work email you haven't answered. You're walking to the store, but your eyes are glued to your phone, scrolling through notifications. It's like you're here, but not really here. The Stoics would give you a gentle nudge and say, slow down, notice. They had a name for this. Mindful observation. It's about being fully present, soaking in the world with every sense, sight, sound, touch, even the quiet rhythm of your own breath. It's not just a feel-good trick, it's a way to anchor yourself in the moment and see life with fresh eyes. This isn't about stopping to smell the roses, though. Trust me, that's a bonus. It's about connecting to the now, whether you're rewatching a sunset paint the sky in hues of fire or just feeling the steady in and out of your breath. The Stoics, those wise folks like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, believed this kind of presence does something profound. It helps you glimpse life's bigger picture, its fleeting beauty, its constant changes, the way everything's woven together in this intricate, interconnected dance. Marcus would sit under the stars, reflecting on how small yet connected we are to the cosmos. Seneca wrote about savoring the present, knowing it's all we truly have. Epictetus, he'd tell you to focus on what's right in front of you, letting the rest slip away. So, how do you do this? It's simpler than you might think. Try this. Next time you're outside, pause and pick out 5 things you've never noticed before. Maybe it's the way a tree's leaves shimmer as they catch the sunlight, each one trembling in the breeze. Or the faint hum of distant traffic, like the city's heartbeat. Maybe it's the texture of the ground under your shoes, gravel crunching, grass yielding softly. It's like waking up to the world, seeing it as if for the first time. Or turn your gaze inward. Notice your thoughts, your emotions, without trying to fix or fight them. Feeling anxious? Don't push it away. Just observe it, like a cloud drifting across a wide-open sky. Curious about what you're feeling? Ask, what's this emotion trying to tell me? It's a quiet way to build self-awareness. Let me share a story. A while back, I was in a frenzy. Work was piling up, my mind racing with a dozen worries. I'd walk my dog every evening, but I was barely there, lost in thought about deadlines or what-ifs. Then I tried this Stoic exercise. One evening, I stopped and really looked. I noticed the way the sunset turned the clouds golden, the coolness of the air on my skin, the way my dog's ears perked at a squirrel's chatter. I felt my breath slow, my worries loosen their grip. That walk became a reset, a moment to just be. It didn't solve my problems, but it gave me clarity to face them. This practice does something powerful. It grounds you. It reminds you that everything, the good, the bad, the ordinary, is temporary. That fight you had with a friend? It'll pass, like a storm moving through. That perfect moment, laughing with someone you love. It's fleeting, too, a precious spark. Knowing this makes you cherish the now, savoring it without clinging. It builds a quiet strength, a resilience to face life's ups and downs with grace. Want to make this part of your life? Start small. Next time you eat, focus on the taste, the texture, no distractions. Or, when you're waiting, in line, at a red light, notice your surroundings, the colors, the sounds, the feel of the moment. Try a mindful walk, picking out new details, a cracked sidewalk, a bird's call. Journal about what you notice or share it with a friend. Over time, these moments of presence weave together, turning the ordinary into something extraordinary. That's the Stoic gift. A life lived fully, one mindful moment at a time. So, what will you notice next? Let's keep exploring how to stay present, listening with your whole self. We live in a world that's all talk, all the time. It's like a constant hum. Social media feeds buzzing with hot takes, news channels shouting for your attention, co-workers, friends, strangers, all adding to the chatter. It's endless, a wall of noise that never seems to pause. But here's a question. How often do we listen? I mean, really listen, not just nodding along while mentally rehearsing what we'll say next. The Stoics, those ancient thinkers who cut through life's chaos with razor-sharp clarity, saw listening as a superpower. For them, it wasn't just a skill. It was a way to practice empathy, patience, and respect, virtues that make you not just a better friend or colleague, but a better human. Active listening, in the Stoic sense, means giving someone your full, undivided attention. Your ears, your heart, your mind, all in. It's not just catching their words, it's noticing the tremble in their voice, the way their shoulders slump, or the spark in their eyes. It's asking questions to dig deeper, not to win an argument or steer the conversation. Picture this. You're sitting with a friend who's upset, their words tumbling out in a rush. Instead of jumping in with quick-fix advice or a story of your own, you lean in. You listen. You hear their story. Feel the weight of their emotions. Maybe even sense what they're not saying. That's Stoic listening. It builds trust, deepens connections, creates a space where someone feels truly seen. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who journaled his way through an empire's turmoil, believed understanding others starts with presence. He'd remind himself to focus on what's being said, not what he wanted to say. Seneca, the Stoic writer who navigated betrayal and exile, wrote that listening with care is an act of wisdom, a way to learn from every voice. Epictetus, the former slave-turned-philosopher, was blunt. If you're thinking about your reply while someone's talking, you're not listening. You're just waiting. Their point? Listening isn't passive. It's active, intentional, a discipline that strengthens your character and your relationships. But here's the kicker. Active listening isn't just for others. It's for you, too. Those quiet thoughts whispering in the back of your mind, those gut feelings that tug at you. What are they saying? Maybe you're stressed, running on fumes because you re-chasing a goal that doesn't even line up with your values. Listening inward helps you unpack that. It's like holding a mirror to your soul, revealing truths you might have been too busy to notice. The Stoics were big on this kind of self-reflection, using it to stay aligned with what matters most. Let me share a story. A while back, I had a friend going through a rough patch. Job troubles, family stress, the works. We met for coffee, and I could tell she needed to vent. My instinct was to offer solutions, to fix it. But I remembered this Stoic idea of listening fully. So, I put my phone away, looked her in the eye, and just listened. I noticed her clenched hands, the way her voice cracked. I asked, "How's this really feeling for you?" and reflected back, "Sounds like you're carrying a lot right now." The relief on her face was palpable. That conversation didn't solve her problems, but it strengthened our bond. And you know what? I learned something about myself, too. How often I rush to fix instead of just being there. Here's a challenge to try. In your next conversation, focus on truly hearing the other person. Don't plan your reply or let your mind wander. Just be present. Notice their tone, their body language. Reflect back what you hear. Sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed, is that right? Watch how it shifts the dynamic, like you're giving them a gift of being understood. Try it with yourself, too. Take 5 minutes to sit quietly and listen to your thoughts. What's bubbling up? Journal it if you want. This kind of listening, outward and inward, builds bridges, fosters clarity, and makes life richer. So, who will you listen to next? Let's keep exploring how to make this Stoic superpower yours. The power of silence. In a world that's always on, always buzzing, silence feels like a radical act. It eats like the whole planet. Etch has got a volume knob cranked to max. Phones pinging with notifications, traffic roaring, conversations overlapping, and that constant hum of to-dos in your head. There's no off switch, or so it seems. But the Stoics, they were all about silence. For them, it wasn't just the absence of noise, it was a sacred space to think, to feel, to reconnect with what truly matters. They'd meditate, reflect, or simply sit quietly, letting their minds settle like dust after a storm. In that stillness, they found clarity, wisdom, and a kind of peace that's hard to come by in our always connected lives. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who juggled an empire's chaos, would steal moments of quiet to journal, grounding himself in his values. Seneca, navigating the cutthroat world of Roman politics, wrote that silence lets you hear your own soul, cutting through the distractions. Epictetus, who went from slavery to philosophy, taught that stillness sharpens your focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your choices. For the Stoics, silence was a tool, a way to strip away the clutter and see life clearly, like wiping fog from a window. You don't need a mountaintop or a monastery to find this kind of silence. It's closer than you think, and you can start small. Try this. Tomorrow morning, before you grab your phone or flip on the TV, sit quietly for 5 minutes. No agenda, no distractions, just you and your breath. Let your thoughts come and go like leaves floating down a stream. Don't chase them. Don't fight them. Just notice. Or take a walk in nature. No earbuds, no playlist, just the sound of the world. Hear the crunch of leaves underfoot, the whistle of wind through branches, the distant call of a bird. These moments are like hitting reset on your brain, clearing the mental clutter so you can see what's really going on inside. Silence doesn't just help you think, it makes you a better listener, too. When you're comfortable with pauses in a conversation, you start hearing more. You catch the unsaid stuff, the hesitation before someone speaks, the emotion behind a shaky voice. It's like unlocking a deeper level of connection, a way to truly be with someone. The Stoics knew this. Listening in silence is an act of respect, a way to practice empathy and patience. It turns a chat into something meaningful, not just an exchange of words. Let me share a story. A while back, I was overwhelmed. Work was relentless, my inbox was a nightmare, and my mind felt like a hamster on a wheel. I'd rush through my days, barely present. Then I tried a Stoic-inspired silence ritual. Every evening, I'd turn off all devices for 30 minutes and sit in my backyard, just listening, to the crickets, to my own breathing. At first, my brain rebelled, itching for a screen. But slowly, I started noticing things. How my stress was tied to chasing approval, how I wasn't giving my relationships the attention they deserved. That silence became my anchor, helping me refocus on what mattered. One night, it led me to call a friend I'd been neglecting. We talked, really talked, and it felt like rebuilding a bridge. Here's a tip to make silence yours. Create a ritual. Maybe it's a device-free hour before bed, where you sip tea and let your mind wander. Maybe it's a quiet corner where you journal, scribbling thoughts without judgment. Or try a silent meal. No phone, no TV, just the taste of your food and the rhythm of your breath. Whatever it is, make it a habit, a small rebellion against the noise. Silence isn't empty. It's brimming with clarity, peace, and wisdom, waiting for you to tap into it. It's where you find yourself again, where you hear the quiet voice of what's true. So, what's one way you can invite silence into your day? Let's keep exploring how to make that stillness your strength. Connecting across differences. The Stoics were all about community, but not the kind where everyone's just like you, nodding along in agreement. They believed wisdom was scattered everywhere, like hidden gems in the bustling marketplace, the crowded streets, the conversations with people from every walk of life. For them, engaging with different perspectives wasn't just a nice-to-have, it was essential to truly understanding the world and your place in it. It was like opening a window to let fresh air into your mind, shaking up your assumptions and broadening your view of what's possible. Think back to the last time you met someone totally different from you. Maybe they grew up in a different country, followed a different faith, or saw the world in ways that felt foreign. Did you lean in, curious to hear their story, or did you pull back, maybe a little unsure or guarded? It's human to hesitate when faced with difference. It can feel like stepping onto unsteady ground. But the Stoic move? It's to lean in, to approach with open ears and an open heart. Ask questions. Listen without judging. Picture yourself at a cultural festival, tasting unfamiliar foods, hearing music that stirs something new in you. Or maybe you're chatting with a coworker who grew up halfway across the globe. Their story, their perspective. It's not just a conversation. It's a chance to grow, to stretch your mind and see the world through a new lens. This isn't always easy, and the Stoics knew it. Differences can spark discomfort, sometimes even conflict. Your beliefs might clash, or you might stumble over misunderstandings. But that's exactly where the learning happens. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who wrestled with an empire's chaos, wrote that every person you meet is a teacher, offering a chance to practice patience and understanding. Seneca, who navigated the treacherous waters of Roman politics, said engaging with others' views sharpens your own, like a blade against a whetstone. Epictetus, the former slave-turned-philosopher, was blunt. If you only listen to those who agree with you, you're not growing, you're stagnating. The Stoics saw diversity as a crucible, a place where your empathy, critical thinking, and character get forged. Let me share a story. A while back, I was at a community event, feeling out of place among people from backgrounds I didn't know much about. I struck up a conversation with an older man who'd immigrated decades ago. At first, I was nervous. Our lives seemed worlds apart, but I asked, "What's your story?" and listened. He shared tales of leaving his home, building a new life, the struggles and triumphs. His perspective on resilience blew me away. It made me rethink my own challenges. That conversation didn't just teach me about his culture. It made me more curious, more open, and honestly, a better listener. It was a small moment, but it expanded my world in ways I didn't expect. So, how do you make this Stoic practice part of your life? Start with curiosity. Seek out one new perspective this week. Read a book by an author from a culture you've never explored. Maybe a novel from a different continent or a memoir that challenges your worldview. Watch a documentary about a community unlike your own. Or, better yet, talk to someone you wouldn't normally connect with, a neighbor with a different background, a colleague with a unique life story. Ask, "What's your story?" Or, "How do you see this?" And really listen, not to respond, but to understand. If you're feeling bold, attend a cultural event, try a new cuisine, or join a discussion group where diverse voices gather. This practice does something powerful. It sharpens your mind, making you better at solving problems by exposing you to new ways of thinking. It deepens your empathy, helping you connect across divides. And it challenges your assumptions, which is where real growth happens. It's not about erasing differences or pretending everyone is the same. It is about celebrating the richness of human experience, finding common ground in the stories we share. That's the Stoic way, seeing every encounter as a chance to learn, to expand your heart and your world. So, whose story will you hear next? Let's keep exploring how to make these connections your strength. Choosing curiosity over judgment. We're quick to judge, aren't we? It's like our brains are wired for it. Someone cuts you off in traffic and boom, what a jerk. Your coworker misses a deadline and your mind's already labeled them. Lazy, unreliable. It's automatic, this snap judgment, this urge to slap a sticker on people or situations and call it done. But here's the problem. Judgment locks you into one narrow view, like staring through a keyhole when there's a whole room to explore. It shuts down understanding, builds walls where bridges could be. The Stoics, they had a better idea, a brighter way to move through the world. Curiosity. Curiosity is like a breath of fresh air. Instead of saying, "I know exactly what's going on here," it whispers, "What's really going on?" It's hitting pause before you pin a label on someone or something, giving yourself space to wonder. Maybe that driver who cut you off is rushing to a hospital, their heart pounding with worry. Maybe your coworker's struggling with something heavy, a sick parent, a personal crisis you don't see. Asking questions, staying open, it's like swinging a door wide open when judgment would have slammed it shut. The Stoics saw curiosity as a key to wisdom, a way to grow by embracing the unknown instead of fearing it. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who faced an empire's worth of chaos, urged himself to look beyond first impressions, to seek the truth beneath the surface. Seneca, the Stoic writer who endured exile and betrayal, wrote that curiosity keeps your mind flexible, ready to learn from every encounter. Epictetus, the former slave-turned-philosopher, was even more direct. If you assume you've got it all figured out, you're not learning, you're stuck. For the Stoics, curiosity wasn't just a nice trait, it was a discipline, a way to practice humility and openness, to turn life into a living classroom where every moment holds a lesson. So, how do you make curiosity your go-to instead of judgment? It starts with awareness. Next time you feel that judgmental itch creeping in, someone annoys you, a situation feels unfair, stop, take a deep breath, ask yourself, what don't I know here? What's another way to see this? Then act on it. Dig deeper. If it's a person, maybe ask them, "Hey, everything okay?" with genuine care. If it's a situation, explore it. Read up, reflect, look at it from a new angle. Curiosity turns life into an adventure, where every moment is a chance to discover something new about the world or yourself. Let me share a story. A while back, I had a neighbor who always seemed grumpy. Short answers, no smiles. My first thought? Wow, what a grouch. But then I caught myself and tried the Stoic approach. One day I asked, "How's your day going?" and actually listened. Turns out he was caring for his sick wife, juggling hospital visits and grief. That conversation flipped my perspective. He wasn't a grouch, he was carrying a load I hadn't seen. That moment taught me to question my snap judgments, to lean into curiosity instead. It didn't just change how I saw him, it made me more patient, more open with others too. Here's a practical way to start. This week, pick one thing that sparks your curiosity. Maybe it's a hobby that scares you a bit, like painting or coding. Dive in, no pressure to be perfect. Maybe it's reading about a topic you've never touched, like astronomy or a different culture's history. Or talk to someone new, a cashier, a colleague, and ask, what's something you're passionate about? Then listen, really listen. Journal about what you learn or share it with a friend. And when curiosity leads to hard truths, that's okay. The Stoics weren't afraid of tough lessons. They saw them as fuel for growth, like wood feeding a fire. Curiosity makes you wiser, more connected, more alive. It turns strangers into teachers, challenges into opportunities. So, embrace the questions, the unknowns. They're what keep your mind sharp and your heart open. What's one thing you're curious about right now? Let's keep exploring how to make curiosity your guide, living the Stoic way. So, here we are, at the end of our journey, or maybe, just maybe, the start of a brand new one. We've been diving deep into Stoicism, this ancient philosophy that's less about grand theories and more about real, practical ways to live a life that feels full, grounded, and meaningful. Stoicism isn't about chasing perfection. Monday perfection. It's not even about being perfect. It's about progress. Showing up each day a little wiser, a little braver, a little more intentional. These strategies we've explored, embracing change like it's a teacher, leaning into discomfort to forge your character, stepping back for clarity, staying curious to learn from every moment, listening with your whole self, finding gratitude even in the tough stuff, observing the world mindfully, seeking silence for peace, connecting across differences, and choosing curiosity over judgment. They're not just ideas. They're tools, like a well-worn hammer or a trusted compass, designed to help you build a life that stands strong no matter what the world throws your way. Think about it. Life's messy, unpredictable, full of curveballs. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, knew this better than most. Marcus, scribbling in his tent amidst war, reminded himself to focus on what he could control: his thoughts, his actions. Seneca, facing exile and betrayal, wrote that every challenge is a chance to practice virtue. Epictetus, once a slave, taught that true freedom lies in mastering your mind. These weren't armchair philosophers. They lived in the thick of it, just like us, and their wisdom is a roadmap for navigating our own chaos. What I love about Stoicism is its honesty. It doesn't promise a life without pain or problems. Instead, it offers a way to meet those moments with resilience, to find meaning in the struggle, to grow through it all. Let me share a quick story. A while back, I was in a rut. Work stress, personal doubts, the whole deal. I felt stuck, reacting to everything, losing sight of what mattered. Then I started experimenting with Stoic practices. I began with gratitude, jotting down 3 things each night that brought me joy or taught me something. At first, it felt awkward, but slowly I noticed a shift. I saw lessons in setbacks, like a missed deadline teaching me patience. I took silent walks, no phone, just me and the world, and found clarity in the quiet. These small steps didn't fix everything, but they gave me a sense of agency, a spark of hope. They reminded me that I could choose how to show up, even on the hard days. Here is my challenge to you. Pick one of these Stoic practices and try it this week. Start small. Stoics love small steps. Maybe it's a gratitude journal, scribbling down 3 things you're thankful for before bed. Could be a silent walk, leaving your earbuds at home to hear the world's rhythm. Or try active listening in your next conversation, really hearing someone without planning your reply. Whatever you choose, just start. Commit to one tiny act and notice how it feels. Then, share it. Tell a friend over coffee, drop a comment below, pass the wisdom along. We're all in this together, learning, stumbling, growing, chasing a life that feels worth living. If this journey sparked something in you, a flicker of curiosity, a nudge to live more intentionally, hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to explore, more stories to share, more ideas to light up your path. Stoicism's not a destination. It's a way of walking through life, one mindful step at a time. It's about asking, how can I be better today? And finding joy in the trying. So, until next time, stay curious, stay resilient, and keep living the Stoic way. You've got this, and I'm rooting for you. Thanks for being here. Let's keep the conversation going.